Hi everyone, it's Carol from Crinkled Path Journals, and I'm back with another memory keeping with me in my altered cookbook. I'm at my desk that I have been working on getting reorganized after changing out the table. I'm curious to see how it's going to go with the glass top. I don't have any lights on right now, it's just the natural lighting from the windows, and so I'm curious to see how this is gonna look on the camera and whether I'm gonna need to get other lights. I was just afraid that if I put lights on, you're gonna get a lot of glare off the glass. I had done this page in my last journaling video in my altered, why are we not closing? Oh, there's a little zipper and it was just like that. Holding it up. In my last junk journal entry, I did this page on 2 favorite recipes, and when I put this etiquette piece in here, it kind of reminded me that I took a class in the late 70s at my church, actually, during the summer. I was probably 8 years old. Sorry, I'm gonna have to figure this out because my chair that I use out here is crinkly. I guess Crinkled Path has a crinkled chair, but I think that might get annoying, so we'll see. Anyway, this is the cookbook that I got from the class in 1978, I think. I remember really liking the class because they made the recipes fun. They had little games to win prizes every day. So one of them was to identify seeds by just looking at them. There's the table talk etiquette page. They taught us how to set a proper table. One of the other games was sniffing spices to identify them by smell. Herbs and spices, or maybe it was just herbs. But anyway, they did simple little kid recipes, and one of my favorites that I made often, let me see, was the Friendly Dog Salad. And I was a huge fan of Snoopy, and that's why I pulled out this Snoopy card to hopefully use on the page. And then I also pulled this little picture from my fussy cutting. If you saw my reel on Instagram, I've been trying out the reels. I'm not crazy about how they look in the feed, why they're doing this vertical format when you have a square template for your media platform, and then suddenly these vertical things are taking over the page and they don't look very great in the squares to me. But I'm trying. I understand that you have to kind of follow the trend to stay relevant with the algorithms to be seen. All that to say, I'm going to try not to complain about that further, but I don't know if I will continue to do reels or not. I did some very short ones that were kind of fun, and of course, one of them, the music already doesn't work on it after the fact, like they pulled the rights to using it. Back to my Friendly Dog Salad. I was mentioning that I got my little individual micro organizing boxes all sorted, and so it made it very easy to go and pull this little image from the children box and this from the crochet box, and it kind of reminded me of a hot pad, and so I grabbed it. It matches her dress, and I loved Snoopy and the Friendly Dog Salad. Let me see, where should I put this? I drew a picture of it in the back right here, my Friendly Dog Salad picture, and I'm actually going to pull this out of the book and use it in my entry today. Well, if it'll pull out. There we go. So let's get back to that page. think I'm going to trim it down, and then maybe if it fits vertically, I can do it that way. So the desk project has not been completed, but at least I have the desk organized enough that I can work at it again. So I thought, why not start making videos again? And I love that some others of you are also working on organizing projects, because it's inspiring me to keep going when it can get overwhelming kind of in the middle of it. My main things I want to finish now, let's trim it more, are the drawers that I wanted to get rid of. I have to go through those, and I have a smaller one that I currently have some sewing things in that I'm going to move to another storage area where I have strictly sewing stuff. I really need to do a sewing journal at some point because I have a lot of sewing ephemera. I'll have to do a home ec memory page at some point when I get into my 80s journal. Okay, my fork doesn't look too funny, hopefully. Sticking out there like that. Maybe I'll leave this open at the top as a pocket so that I can put my journaling in there. I kind of like the combine all ingredients, let simmer together to blend, serve hot at the top there. Let's see, my kids. Just kind of getting a feel for where I want to put things. Okay, hold on to that a second. I also have, this is my word book, and I went through and tagged. This one has a lot of kind of party or food items. And I was thinking maybe this has a very 70s vibe to it. Make a memorable entree. There's a similar font here. Serve a dazzling dessert. I think I'm going to pull those two out. There's elegant tea party too, but I feel like the tea party picture to me and this one is reflecting more the idea of that I was taught some etiquette during the class. And then I also have this that are now just right easy to grab. It's a bunch of labels for the kitchen, and it looks very 70s as well, color and font wise. Let's see what colors. So maybe one of the yellow. This casserole dish just reminds me so much of those old Corningware dishes. Let's just keep looking a little further since I've got this out. Those are stickers, but they're more flowers. Pie. I didn't cook anything that complicated in this class. Chicken, veggies. Oh, I kind of like the veggies. And those are a sticker. Let's go with this one. So these are little gummy labels. I'm sure the gummy is pretty worn out. I don't remember taking special classes very much in my childhood. This was really something special that somebody did for all the kids at our church. I went to VBS, you know, in the summers. Our church always did that. And let me think, what other classes? I took a sewing class from another friend's parent. So maybe that in there. can't decide where to put this. Maybe it's not going to make it on the page. I feel like it goes more with this side. Okay, gonna keep thinking about that one. Now these are sort of big. I'm liking that better. What else do I have at my fingertips? Okay, since I've organized and I have all these things right at my fingertips, I'm gonna try this too. So these are countries, so maybe we just want to look for something that goes with our color theme and not worry about the details too much. What's on it? That one's a good color. Think about that one. See if something jumps out at me. There's another little dancing guy. Not really food related, but I like that he's dancing and Snoopy's dancing. Okay, I guess that's it. So that one's gonna do it. All right, now I need a piece of paper to put my journaling on in there. So I've got to get up to get my tray. I'm going to try and get my orange tray. This was right on top and it's round, so I'm thinking maybe if I do this, I could kind of follow the line of this. Obviously you have to cut it narrower than that, but I'll cut the lines off. So while I'm cutting this, did you take a class when you were a kid at your local rec center, YMCA, your church, anywhere? And what did you take a class on? I'd be curious to know. I helped a lot with the cooking in my family, and so I think that's why I really enjoyed this class. And I usually felt pretty awkward in social situations, and this class just was right up my alley for something I would like to do and my aptitude. I remember winning the contest on labeling the seeds by looking at them. I think it helps that I grew up going every summer to my grandparents' farm. My uncle and aunt farmed the family farm, and I was around the different grains like wheat and barley and flax, and my dad taught me how to identify them based on just looking at them. And so I think I knew things like sunflower seeds and sesame seeds and that kind of thing that they had in their little contest, and so it was right up my alley to play that, and I won. I think it's really nice when we get those opportunities to do something that's new but ends up feeling like it's in our comfort zone. It was a very big confidence booster for me. Yeah, I think that's gonna fit. Put some kind of little pull tab at the top. Oh, so since I have to get a pull tab, let me show you. So I was telling you how I put this funny saying on here. This came out of a advice book, and it says clean your desk so that you can mess it up again. And then I found this paper that matches the color exactly, but just has a cute design, because there was a label that got ripped off of this and I couldn't get all the paper off from underneath, and now I feel like it looks more fun. I like that it is the size it is and holds as much as it does, and that it's easy to see in, because when you have this much, I would have to pull it all out and dump it into something else to look if it was solid. One other thing I wanted to show you before I get in here. This was another idea. I got this vintage bowl at a yard sale, and it is it's been washed and it's still a little dingy, but I love the vintage feel of it, and it is an old Pyrex 11. It says on it, made in the USA for Westinghouse. And I just got this because things like my buttons and puzzle pieces and crossword puzzle tiles and things that I put into little containers that I filled the container, I wanted to have something just ready to grab at my desk here that I could pour those things into and dig around. So I'm sure you'll see me do that at some point in the future. Today I was excited to use the books that I kept nearby. All right, let's find our ribbon for the top of this. I might just go with a plain little lacy ribbon. Oh, and there's that one. It's got a wire in it. Let's see. Oh, I just thought of another class I took. So I went to a little local woman's house for swimming lessons. I remember having this giant, like, hard styrofoam thing with straps that my parents would put on my back like a turtle. I'm sure it would not have saved me from drowning and I, lost consciousness or something, but they did help me to get those lessons so that I could swim. And let's see. It's gonna go. Sorry, my chair keeps cracking. I'm gonna have to get a different chair for filming. I don't know, my other one squeaked. Maybe you didn't really hear it. It just bothers me. Okay, and I can pull my little drawer open real quick right here. So nice. And my drawer is quieter than my old desk. Staple that on. And now we get to glue this all down. I want you to know I spent a decent amount of time fighting with my glue that I keep promising to get cleaned so that we'll use again my art glitter glue, which now the outside of the container is starting to look really old. So I'm like, maybe it's just time to get a new bottle. Splurge, So let's see. So I'm gonna try and glue these down, and I'll probably just fast forward that part of the video. But as I'm gluing, if you think of a story about a class that you took and enjoyed in your childhood, would you tell me your story in the comments briefly? I would love to hear your story, and your story matters. Now that I have this all glued in, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about coming back to journaling after being gone for a while and not doing it. And it's just kind of been vanilla for me. The last 2 pages have just not had the extra things that I normally like to include in my journaling. And I understand that it's because I haven't been exercising that creative muscle in the same way in the last months. And I'm not angry at myself or disappointed, but I do know that getting organized and having more things right at my fingertips really helps me to kind of take the page to the next level with that extra couple touches of ephemera, ribbons, headlines, labels, all those little things that I just love to look at that I feel we're kind of missing on these last 2 pages. But that doesn't mean I can't go back and add something now that I have things at my fingertips to the last 2 pages. And I think I'm going to do that. But I just wanted to encourage you that you can start with whatever you have in front of you. Maybe it's something from your last grocery trip, some packaging or stickers off of the fruit that you just think are cute. And maybe it's something you've had in your drawer for years and you aren't sure why you're keeping it other than it has a memory attached, and someday when you're gone it's not going to mean anything to somebody else. Get it in a book and tell your story. I highly encourage it, and I think that as you start to try just with whatever you have, then you can look for things that are from the era when you have your memories and keep an eye out for those vintage items or ephemera. There's so many great sellers, and I hope to be able to offer some of my overstock. I love collecting, and it's one of the things that I hope to do is to be able to pass on some of the things that I've collected to people who are interested and maybe can't go out and hunt through an estate sale or doesn't have a thrift store in their town that's very well priced or carry vintage items. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, and so don't be surprised if in the final flip through of this book you see changes to these last 2 pages, because I think I will go back and add more fun things to them now that I'm feeling more lighthearted. The grief is lifting a little more. I'm having some frustration with my arm, yes, and it's made the process of organizing harder, but I know that there's hope down the line for that too, and I'm glad that it doesn't stop me from doing things right here in this space. It's hard to reach for things, it's hard to move my arm, but my hands are good. So now I'm going to just finish up by putting my journaling on this card about what I kind of talked about today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.